Hi guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously myself, Stoomboy as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So talking about Grapplefest 11, so we've been talking about it now for a couple of weeks. It's going to be Saturday the 26th of February. Now, it's going to be at the usual place, so that's Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, the tickets are all sold out, guys, so there's absolutely none left. Some fighters might have a few tickets left, but I very much doubt it because, as I say, these tickets went very, very quickly. So the only place you're going to be able to watch it is on Flow Grappling. Now, I've been saying this since we did the first interview. If you're going to be getting it on Flow Grappling, make sure, if you're only getting it for this event, make sure you choose the monthly option, okay? It defaults to a yearly subscription, which means if you don't choose the monthly option, you will be charged a full year, and I believe it's about £114. So it'll be an expensive pay-per-view if you don't choose the monthly options. So monthly options, I think, is about £12 or £14. So get yourself on Flow Grappling just before the event and make sure you get yourself booked in to watch this. It's going to be a fantastic event. We've got Daisy Fresh coming over with an absolute team of animals. They're going to be taking on some of the best that the UK and the rest of the Europe has to offer. Prelim card and obviously a main card as well. So my next guest is going to be on the show that night. So Dave Weston of Black Country BJJ. Now, I've seen some videos of Dave. There's a few videos on YouTube. A lot older videos, so obviously his game's going to have changed over the last 8 years. All right, so, but there is some footage, so you can definitely go on and get a glimpse of a little bit of what Dave's about. So, but Dave, it's an absolute pleasure, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, sound here.
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. So yeah, training wise, then. So what you been up to? Obviously, now that January's here, I'm presuming the gym will be a bit busier than normal.
No, not so much. We've got about the same members. We carried on pretty much after COVID, after all the restrictions. We had a bit of a boom, but not so much in January. But to be honest, the mats are full every night, so probably grateful more than anything.
Yeah. January's always a funny one. I mean, you've obviously been in a game for a number of years, but January usually comes with an influx of people who then kind of drift off as the weeks go on into January.
Yeah, that's it. It's not an easy sport, let's just put it that way. And we don't mother people as such, so they come in and they soon know whether they're going to stick around or not. And it's either way, I'm happy. If they want to stick around, that's cool. If it's not for them, that's fine. They go. But yeah.
We used to do it in the gyms. I mean, whenever new people would come in, you would look at them and you go, I don't think he'll last. He might do well. Do you know what I mean? So it's always funny that.
Yeah, sometimes you almost get a vibe off them in the first hard session. You think, I don't think it's going to last. I mean, some people surprise you, obviously, but yeah. It's not for everybody, that's for sure.
Definitely. And I say you've been in the game for a number of years now as well. So how do you keep motivated? Because obviously that's a big thing, obviously, in jiu-jitsu. I mean, we go through blimps. I know that obviously as a white belt, you can get a bit demotivated. Blue belt's an absolute nightmare of a belt to get through, and so on and so on. So what keeps yourself motivated, Dave?
It is competition, to be honest. The second I don't have a competition coming up, I was saying it the other day, like to one of the lads, the second you don't have that competition coming up, you come off a little bit and you don't take your training as seriously. But the second I'm in for a competition, even if it's in 3 months' time, the extra rounds are there, everything's there. My diet gets better, everything's back in place. But the second there's not a competition there, I mean, I still train, but it's just not the same intensity. So I like to keep that next competition, that next goal going.
Definitely. And you love competing. I mean, I'd say we see you. I'd say there's a lot of videos on YouTube. Again, older videos, but obviously your Facebook as well, looking at your social media. You enjoy that competing side of things.
Yeah, I love it. It's like a love-hate kind of thing. It's one of those that normally a couple of weeks out, you start to think, oh, it's coming up now, but then come the day of the competition, I'm happy. It's where I like to be. The second you touch hands with somebody on the mats, it's cool. It's all gone and it's put on a showtime, which is I love it, and that keeps me going.
What about nerves and stuff like that? I mean, does nerves affect you, even though you've done a number of comps, but do you still get affected with nerves at all?
Yeah, but it's more in the build-up to say, by the time I'm warming up and I'm there and it's going, it's the waiting. I don't like the waiting. I'd rather be told, right, that's it, you're competing tonight, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, sound, that's wicked. But the weeks, the months building up, and you're just like, oh, I'm ready. You know, I'm ready all year round. Let's just go now. You know what I mean? I hate the waiting.
Yeah. Oh no, listen, I'm with you. I mean, I remember I think it was one comp I did the British back in 2015. I think it was UK BJJF at the time. So, and I remember going to be flying down. I think it was on about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I remember I was flying down. I got to the airport waiting on the flight, and I was standing in the queue waiting to go. And then once I got to the desk, they said, "Oh, you're 10 minutes late. You can't get on the flight." So I had to then jump on a train all the way down to London. And by the time I got down, I think I got into the venue. It was about 3:15. So it was just a chance to get your gi on, get on the mat. I went on. Obviously, I had a couple of fights. I ended up winning the British and coming back up the road with the gold medal. So there was no messing about. I just got off a train, straight in, and that was me done.
No, I completely agree. I'd won the Arnold, it was just before Christmas. Similar situation. I was running late. Smooth Comp said one time, and then the guys running the competition messaged me and said, like, where are you? You're on in like 45 minutes. And we were on the motorway on the way there. And I'm like, we parked up. I'm running for the NEC. Like, there's stands everywhere with these drinks. I was just grabbing pre-workouts, running through like a marathon runner, getting these drinks in me. And then literally got there, weighed in, got changed, and I was the next match on. And it was probably one of the fights I've ever had. So I'd much prefer to do it that way every time.
No, definitely. And then the good thing about Grapplefest, I mean, it's quite punctual. So obviously, you know, you're going to be on at a certain fight. So you're going to be there. You know roughly what time you're going to be on at, give or take a few minutes. So that's the good thing about Grapplefest. You've got an idea of when it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a big fan of Grapplefest for years. Watched pretty much all of them except maybe the first one, and I love the fact that it's just back to back to back to, like the breaks in between are minimal. They're literally like shooing people off the mat to get the next ones on. I love that format. Like, as a spectator as well, that's what you want. You don't want to be sitting around watching adverts in between each fight. Let's just keep them going. Definitely.
And then what about Grapplefest then? So how did you find out you were going to be on Grapplefest?
It's just a funny story. I was at one of my best mates' weddings on the night. It was probably the weekend before Christmas, and we were sat down for a meal. And this wedding's in the middle of nowhere, like there's no signal or nothing. And we sat down having the meal, and my phone goes, and I had 2 messages off Tomo, and I was like, you know, he's not the kind of guy to wish you a happy Christmas or whatever. So I see these messages off Tomo, and I'm thinking, what's this? So I've gone for a little walk outside, trying to get a bit of signal, and it comes through, and he's literally just sent me, got you a match if you want it, and then sent me his Instagram profile, and that's popped up. I can't load the Instagram profile. I can't load anything. The signal's terrible, and I'm looking at it. I don't know what to do. I'm half thinking, well, you know what Tomo's like on social media. I was expecting to load it up and just have a picture of an ass or something. So so I messaged him back. I'm like, I can't open it up, man, but I'm in. Doesn't matter. I'm in. And then And then he messaged me back saying it's a match, and it was obviously as the night went on, weddings being weddings. I woke up the next day like very hungover, almost completely unaware until like a couple of hours later. I was like, hold up. I go back on, I was like, no way, that's what happened last night. Completely oblivious.
Mate, it could have been anybody. It could have been like Dave, who you hooked up with Gordon Ryan. Are you up for it? You're like, I can't load the Instagram, but I'll take the fight anyway.
It's weird about grappling. Like, you know, it doesn't matter who does it. It's you know, even if it's somebody way out of your league, you're going to be like, yeah, of course, I'd love to try myself against them. It's a funny sport like that, isn't it?
Yeah. So what was your feeling then? Obviously the next day, because obviously you've had a few beers, you're hungover the next day. So when did it sink in then that obviously you were going to be on Grapplefest, and what was the feeling like when you did eventually come to grips that you were on? Yeah.
Well, I don't drink a lot, so when I do, it hits me very, very hard, let's say. So, I mean, at the time, it was just one of these, like, almost surreal kind of, like, almost felt like I'd been blackout drunk, like, when did this happen? Like, who told me about this? You know, yeah, it was cool. And then after that, you know, it's excitement. I'm like, yeah, the second this headache's gone, I'm in the gym.
Yeah, definitely. And Grapplefest, I mean, as I say, it's, from, in my opinion, is the #1 event in Europe. As I said, I know we've got Polaris, but in regards to kind of pushing like young talent coming through, obviously we've got the prelims, we've got young blue belts, like 18-year-old and stuff like that coming over from America. So in regards to pushing talent, and especially like say northern talent as well, Northern England talent, I mean, there's nobody else doing it out there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Polaris is huge, obviously, but like Polaris, I think Grapplefest, they're just killing it. Like, if you go back, you look at the lineup of, let's say, Grapplefest 8, the matchups are huge. Like, all of the matchups are like matches you'd love to see now. Like, obviously, they're almost before their time in a way. Like, that's Grapplefest are nailing that constantly. Like, these matches are like just way before. Like, I suppose it's credit to Tomo's matchmaking. He's killing it in that respect. He's got all these guys on way before their time, and like just
some absolutely awesome people on it as well. I mean, you've got Dante Leon, Kendall Rusin, you've got Theon Davies, you have Mikey Musumeci. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, that's absolute. And the thing with Grapplefest, I mean, I always tell people this: every single time they put on an event, it's better than the last one.
Yeah.
Or not better. I don't mean better. What I mean is, in regards to the lineup is better than the previous lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that. Like, I've rewatched the last one a couple of times. We've had people in the gym, and that last event was phenomenal. I remember sitting at home just watching it and just being like, all of these fights are banging, and that's what Tomo's pushing, isn't it? He's getting all these people in, and he's making sure that, you know, if you're not exciting, you're not coming back, and that's what pushes people to do it. And that style suits me down to the T. Just go out there and throw it out there.
And there's no boring fights on Grapplefest either. No boring fights at all. As I said, if it's a boring fight, the crowd will let you know it's a boring fight. So, but always awesome fights to watch. And then, what about you this year then? So obviously you mentioned, you love competing. You love being out there. What's your plans then? Obviously Grapplefest just around the corner, so that'll be one of your main focuses just now. So what are we going to see from Dave this year?
So I've got Grapplefest coming up. Got a couple of weeks after that. We've got the submission super fight, SSF, against Kev from ASW Liverpool. He's I'm super excited about that. I mean, I've known of Kev for a few years. I don't know him, but you know, he's one of those names you just get to know. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then after that, I'm not sure. I'm just going to keep pushing forward, trying to get my name out there. Trying to get on more shows, I suppose. If there's any gaps, I'll fill it in with the regional comps and keep pushing forward like that.
What do you prefer, Dave? I mean, obviously, gi and no gi. I mean, obviously, I know that you came where you started doing jiu-jitsu, and so it was very, very gi orientated. So, what's your main preference?
These days, 100% no gi. It's definitely is. I still train in the gi. Like it's still like. I've always said, like, if I had the choice, it'd be no gi. But like, you know, we're running the gym, and if it's a gi night, it's a gi night. I'm putting the gi on, and I'm training in the gi. I do love, I love to play guard in the gi, lapel guards, and all the rest of it. That's kind of like suits me. But I do rather the no gi. The way I want to see it from now on, it's the same as like guard player, wrestler, all these positions and stuff. I just want to be able to dominate every position. Gi, no gi, doesn't really matter. Put me in any situation, I want to be able to dominate and put a show on in that, you know, in that place. So that's kind of my aim now going forwards, rather than trying to specialise in anything. Yeah,
we see that though. We see that happening. Obviously, one time. I talk about this with submissions. That at the moment, the big submissions at the moment is foot locks, leg locks, and anything to do with the feet. Obviously, a few years ago, there was chokes were quite popular. Obviously, dash chokes, neckties, and stuff like that. So it kind of evolved. That's where the jiu-jitsu evolves. So obviously, at the moment, the big thing's gi, no gi. But maybe in a couple of years, obviously, the gi will come back. Everybody will be kicking about in the gi again.
Yeah, I doubt it. But yeah, I think, and I hope, honestly, I think obviously for many years the gi's been way more, prestigious, especially in the IBJJF worlds and all that kind of stuff. Like people were winning the no-gi worlds and not really getting any credit for it whatsoever, which is probably still the case, but it's more ADCC, I suppose. But I see this shift coming, and with it's the MMA audience that's going to push it. I just don't see it really going back. I mean, I might be wrong. Give it 10 years, maybe it'll go back, but I don't really see it. I think no-gi's here to stay, really.
Listen, I'm an old man, so I love the gi. I love to slow it down and do my thing. So listen, bring back the gi, guys. We love the gi.
maybe, but that's it.
Definitely. And then final thing for you then. So obviously you've been in the game for a number of years now. So anybody you want to shout out to, so any kind of friends, family members, teammates. Obviously I see you sporting the t-shirt as well. So, anybody you want to shout out to.
If I was to shout out anybody, it'd probably be my professor, Tim Cash. I've got to call him professor, otherwise he takes stripes off my belt. So I'll keep him happy, keep calling him professor. But no, it's just the lads at Black Country BJJ. They know who they are. They're savages all year round, and especially you tell these guys you're in a competition, they're going to try and take your head off, which is exactly what you need, really. So they're a good group of lads, and I don't really like anything.
Definitely. And then obviously Black Country then. So contacting Black Country, how do people get in contact with you guys?
So it's at Black Country BJJ on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. Drop us a message. A lot of people around here kind of know what we're about, and we're the team that's going to be pushing hardest, I think, coming into this year, and we're going to make a name for ourselves. So keep an eye.
Definitely. And then, so guys, listen, anybody that's in and around Black Country, then definitely hit up Dave. And obviously the guys at Black Country BJJ, I'd say definitely an awesome team. Quite a young team as well, as Dave said, very, very competition focused. So hopefully seeing some good things from Black Country this year. So guys, there we have it then. So we've got Grapplefest 11, Saturday the 26th of February. Tickets are all sold out, so I very much doubt you're going to get one. If you get one, then brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But if not, get on Flow Grappling. Make sure you get yourself booked on for that. And as I said, choose them monthly payments. Do not get stung. We don't want to see you on the UK Underground, because it always happens. Whenever an event's on, people always go on Flow Grappling and they're on the UK BJJ Underground complaining that they've just been charged for a full year. So everybody knows about Flow Grappling. You do need to choose that monthly option. So we're going to have Dave Weston, Black Country BJJ, on the show that night. So Dave, absolute pleasure to speak to you, brother. I'll be there on the night, so I'll be able to grab a quick chat with you and things like that.
I'll have a chat with you on the night, mate.
Definitely. Listen, thanks again. Stay safe, buddy. All right, stay away from COVID. And we'll see you next month. All right? Thank you, brother.